Good evening, everyone. I would like to call our meeting to order today at 6 o'clock. Mr. City Clerk, can you please take roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez,
Here.
Councilmember Jimenez,
Here.
Councilmember Tamayo,
Here.
Councilmember Torres,
Here.
Mayor Peralta.
And I am here. Mr. City Attorney, can you please announce our closed session items for today?
Thank you. Mr. City Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on closed session items?
We do not.
And anyone who wishes to address the city council on a closed session, the one closed session item would have had to fill out a card by this time. So with no speaker cards requested to speak on item number 1, which is conference with real property negotiators as listed on the agenda, it's appropriate to recess into closed session.
Okay, we will be recessing into closed session at 6 o'clock. Thank you, everyone, for your patience today. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us at our city council meeting today. We are convening from closed session at 7 o'clock. If our city attorney can please provide a report.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Members of the City Council, the record should reflect that the City Council, with all 5 members being present, recessed into closed session to discuss the one item that was listed on for closed session and announced prior to recessing into closed session. And the following is my report. The presentation was made to the City Council regarding this one item. There was no final action taken. Direction was provided to the city's negotiators, but inasmuch as there was no final action taken, there is nothing required to be reported at this time. Madam Mayor, it's appropriate to continue with the open portion of the meeting.
Thank you very much. Today for our invocation, we actually do have a special guest who I would like to have come up, Pastor Sebastian Petz. If you can please do us the honor of conducting our invocation today. And we will be having our Pledge of Allegiance by our city clerk.
Great, thank you, Mayor Peralta. Well, if we'd all bow our heads and close our eyes as we go together to the Lord in prayer to kick off this council meeting. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening in worship of you, which is the first and highest duty that every single human being that you made in your image, you have called to. And we pray that the events that transpire during this meeting, the decisions that are made, the counsel that is discussed, would be pleasing to you, would be worshipful towards you. And we know that if we have the best interests of the community, of the people in this city, to benefit them, to help bless them, to help advance this community, to improve infrastructure, education, opportunities for upwards mobility, strengthen unity between different groups within our community. If we have this at the heart of our motivation and what drives this meeting, we know we will be worshiping you and we will be pleasing you. And especially if this all happens from faith in your Son, Jesus, the only God and Savior. And we pray, God, that you'd give much wisdom to this council, not only in discussions during this meeting, but for the rest of their tenure. However many months or years they have left in their term, would you bring about greater unity and collaboration, concession, sometimes even compromise to make decisions that are in the best interest of the people of the city of Montebello. We pray also, God, that you would bring much respect and dignity and decorum in this meeting, that if conversations that are tough, that need to be had, would be had in a respectful and cordial manner, that concerns would be addressed from those in the public session and beyond in a way that would be pleasing to you. We pray for the mayor as she continues to lead her term this year. Would you continue to give her a great leadership, a great wisdom and strategy and thinking to help lead this council in a way that would be a great blessing and affect much change that this city needs. We pray for a special moment in this meeting also, where we'll be inaugurating our youth commissioner, who's very near and dear to our church community. And God, that you would continue to be with her, empower her, energize her ministry, even in this role, that she would be able to advance the causes of the youth of this city in a way that would benefit them, bring much needed change, inspire community, and prepare and equip them as they grow up to be effective leaders who would continue to take the baton to drive change that would better the generations that follow them. And we lift up this entire meeting in Jesus' matchless name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor Petz, for a really incredible blessing of our council meeting. If we can please have our city clerk conduct our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mayor. We can please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mr. City Clerk. Moving forward, we do have corrections to the agenda. Mr. City Manager?
Yes, Mayor, we have one correction. Item number 5 is going to be pulled for a presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. And now moving forward to our presentations, we do have certificates of recognition for Elias Aguilar and Tyler Santos. If I can please have our council join us up front to recognize them. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today we have the honor and privilege of recognizing two outstanding individuals who have achieved remarkable milestones in their scouting journey. Please join me in congratulating Elias Aguilar and Tyler Santos for being awarded the prestigious Eagle Scout Award. If I can please have a round of applause for them. Elias and Tyler, your dedication, your hard work, and your commitment have brought you to this momentous occasion. Through countless hours of service projects, leadership roles, and personal growth, you have demonstrated the true spirit of scouting. As you both receive these certificates of recognition, know that you have not only earned the admiration and respect of your fellow scouts, but also the gratitude of your community and us as City Council. Your commitment has set a shining example for others to follow. Let us all take a moment to celebrate you both for your remarkable achievement and to wish you both continued success in your future projects. Congratulations, Elias and Tyler, on becoming Eagle Scouts. Congratulations. So I do have two certificates on behalf of the City Council, but I do also just want to give you an opportunity to share a little bit about your project, if that's okay with the community. Okay?
All right, so hello, I'm Elias Aguilar, and my Eagle project, what I did is over at St. Benedict Church, I built a memorial dedicated to those who suffered during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's a memorial that consists of a pedestal, and on top of that pedestal is a statue of Our Lady of Lourdes, who's the patron of the sick, so I felt that that would be fitting. And on that pedestal is a plaque with a short prayer, of course, dedicated to those who suffered or lost their lives during the pandemic.
Damn. Now I feel like my project is not as honorable. What was it? Which park? Grant Ray Park. I installed a public bicycle repair stand, so anyone in the community who rides their bike and rides it and has it break down, they can feel free and take it to the park and repair it themselves. And yeah.
Give me 1 second here. And then if you can have some pictures being taken. So I would like to give you the certificate on behalf of the City Council and this one as well.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want, we can do maybe one by one so your families can come up individually. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. So we can go ahead and have Elias's family come up first. We can go ahead and take a picture with him, and then we'll have the next one. Thank you. Congratulations. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. Congratulations. Thank you. You want to stand close to them?
Sure. No, it's okay. Family, family's here. Important. Okay. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Yeah, you can. I got some Eagle Scouts in my house. Yeah. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, moving forward, we do have an oath of office for Youth Commissioner Phoenix Perez. If you can please come up, we'll go ahead and conduct your oath of office. We're extremely, extremely excited for you.
My left. Okay. It's my left hand. I will. So,
All right, Phoenix, we ready?
yes.
Yes, perfect. So I'm going to just repeat the statement and you'll go ahead and repeat after me.
Okay.
I state your name,
I, Phoenix Perez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I will take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which
upon which
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yay. Please don't leave just yet. Please, Phoenix, don't leave just yet. Just want to first off congratulate you as our newly appointed youth commissioner. I think all of us here on City Council for the past few years have witnessed how incredible you are, not only as a person, but the work that you do within our community and how integrated and how just such an amazing person you are. Being able to see you in action has been really great, and so I'm very excited for this new chapter ahead for you. I do just want to allow Mayor Pro Tem Melendez, who appointed you to this position, some words as well, and then if you'd like to share some words as well, too.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations again. When we went through the whole process, and I'll share a little bit about her bio. It's I asked her for a little bit of information about her and what she does and who she is, and I got an extensive resume. I think it was long. I don't know how you get everything done and how you're so accomplished at such a young age. So I think it's a testament to your family, to your friends, pastor, everybody having that influence in you, and you're the epitome of what of the type of individual that we want to have here. So we're extremely proud. And if I can just add a little bit more about some of the stuff that you've done and some of the work that you do. So you attended Montebello Christian School, and I think we have several representatives from Montebello Christian School here.
Yes.
And you're currently at Whittier Christian High School.
Yes.
And you just you've excelled in your education career. You became the inaugural president at Whittier High School. I hear you have an amazing voice. I don't know if, you might have to give us a little sample. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but you're part of the student council. You're chairing the student event planning committee, which really showcases your passion for the community. Outside of school, you're heavily involved at the Word Church, just nurturing your spirit and fueling your desire to make a difference. I hear you're also an athlete. You're involved in volleyball, and you just have so much to offer to the commission, so much to offer to this community. I'm so proud of you. When I interviewed you, within 2 minutes, I'm like, yeah, that's a youth commissioner right there. Let's get it done. So again, just want to congratulate you. You're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, and let's give her another round of applause. And I'd like for you to say a few words now.
I just want to say thank you for my family for coming. I know it means a lot to me, even though it only took just a few seconds, but it really means a lot to me that my family has come, and even some family that I haven't seen in a long time. So I just want to thank you, and that I love you all so much. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Phoenix and family, for joining us here today. We're super, super excited for all the contributions that you will make to our community. Thank you so much. And have fun at Rio's Pizza. Enjoy. Thank you. So moving forward, we are done with presentations for this evening. We are moving forward with public comments on non-agenda items. Mr. City Attorney, may you please read the statement of oral communications before receiving public comments this evening.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Yes, at this time, it's the opportunity for public comments on non-agenda items. Anyone who wishes to address the City Council on an item that is not on the agenda would have to fill out a card at this time and turn it into the City Clerk. Speakers will have 3 minutes to address their topic. We have a 30-minute time period in which to address the comments. At this time, do we have speaker cards?
Yes, we do.
Okay, you can proceed, Mr. City Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. First speaker is Rosa Tamayo, followed by Linda Nicholas.
Good evening.
Mayor Peralta en
Mayor Peralta
del concilio.
and members of the council.
Quiero decirles que nunca más se le falte el respeto a concejal Angie Jiménez,
I would like to say that never avoid giving the respect to Council Angie Jiménez,
porque en esta organización municipal debe de tener respeto y ética, porque sus familias son muy honorables.
because in this municipality there has to be ethics and respect Her family is honorable family.
Ella es madre de 2 jóvenes
She's a mother of 2 youngsters.
y ella es muy respetada en donde quiera que se presenta.
She's very well respected everywhere she goes.
Buena trabajadora
A hard worker,
y respeta a los empleados.
and she respects the employees.
Fue una vergüenza la vez pasada que
It's
le
a-
faltaron el respeto.
It's a shame last time that they didn't have respect to her.
También pido seguridad para las familias del Distrito 5 por la construcción del metro.
I'm also asking awareness for the families for District Number 5 because of the construction of the metro.
Porque los paramédicos, policías, bomberos, día y noche atienden llamadas de emergencia.
Because police officers, paramedics, firefighters are busy answering emergency calls
Y
day and
también,
night.
y también es urgente viviendas abordables, accesibles para familias desamparadas, anónimas,
It is also important to have accessible, affordable housing to families and
Y
for
des-
them to have stable
y desamparados de la calle.
as well as to help for helpless people that are in the street.
Así como se hacen automóviles como Tesla, Ford, Chevrolet, etcétera,
The same way, like when cars are made, like Tesla, Chevrolet, and other cars,
así deben de hacer construcciones de viviendas.
the same effort should be done when constructing housing.
Ahora mismo las viviendas están de un alto costo
Now, nowadays, housing is very costly, very high in
y
price.
hay mucha gente, más gente doblemente
And now it became in numbers the double when it comes to
asilados, refugiados
there are refugees
y homeless
People
que
that are
no
homeless.
deberían de estar en la calle.
and they shouldn't be in the street.
Las familias de veteranos están en la calle
Veterans, families are in the street.
que no deberían de estar.
They shouldn't be there.
Personas con discapacidad no deben de estar en la calle.
Handicapped people shouldn't be in the street.
Deben de estar en sus casas
They should be at home
con cuidado,
with the proper care,
con educación,
with education,
con empleo,
access to education, and also jobs,
como Rosas Lau lo requiere. Como Rosas Lau lo requiere.
the same way as Rosa Cloud requires it.
La ley de Rosas Lau. La
Rosa
ley de
Locke.
Rosa.
The law of Rosa Locke.
Y yo la hice con el propósito
I made it
y con las
with the purpose,
provisiones para el beneficio de toda esta gente.
with the conditions and benefits of all these people.
Y espero que aprendan y traigan más negocios para emplear todas estas personas.
I hope you learn and bring businesses so these people can be employed.
Yo voy a estar cuidando todo esto porque ahorita tengo 10 casos
I'll be watching all this because right now I have 10 cases
y estoy pensando hacer un clasut.
and I'm thinking, I'm considering do a lawsuit.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tamayo. We can have the next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Linda Nicholas, followed by Tila Gregorian.
Good evening. Linda Nicholas, co-founder of Match 90640. I would like to address the abuse of taxpayers' monies by elected council members this evening. Scarlett, I see on your orals that you're going to have a Mother's Day brunch with mariachis. Is this event open to all the mothers in Montebello? Because if not, then you better ask the city attorney, because that's illegal of using taxpayers' money for a private event. So during your orals, will you answer, please? Prior events you hosted using city funds were illegal, such as check number 602717 on February 29, 2024, for $13,588.97, billed to the city by Cannon, Inc., for the private party you held in the bar the night you became the mayor. Illegal. This is an abuse and illegal use of taxpayers' money. I don't know if you're aware of this, but now you are. Also, both you and Torres copied the mayor's corner from the former mayor, Copos Cawthorn, who started that. If you're both going to be copycats, then pay what the former mayor paid on an average of $400 per month. Copy her integrity. Stop being mooches, which has not been reported on your 700s either. If they're going to give you in-kind, you have to report that too. So FPPC laws have been broken and fines will be coming. Okay. You both showed so much support for the Palestine people when they were here. What happened to tonight's recognition of the Armenian Day of Remembrance? It's today. Our city has a huge Armenian community that would appreciate your support. They live here. The other ones don't.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nicholas. If we can please have the next speaker.
Next speaker is Tila Gregorian, followed by Jonathan C.
Good evening. My name is Sheila Gregorian, resident of Montebello for most of my life. Linda just spoke what I was coming up here to remind everybody that this is the memorial of the Armenian genocide that happened in 1915. So please remember and keep them all in prayer. It was, I am not Armenian. My last name is, but my husband was Armenian. But it's, I think they have a beautiful culture and sad and happy stories in their lives. I find them to be very great people that we have in our city. We used to have a lot more Armenians. I don't know what's happening to them. They're moving out of Montebello. But there was a large population of Armenian here in Montebello. Now they're scattered all over the cities around us. But so please keep them in prayer. And remember this day always that there was a genocide of the Armenian people by the Turkish people. And they don't like that to be spoken of, but oh well, history is history. And no one can take that away from us, not in this country. We can speak the truth as it happened, and we can remind people about the history of other cultures in our nation and our world, and to always remember this day, and remember your friends, neighbors, families that are of Armenian descent. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gregorian. If we can please have the next speaker.
Next speaker is Jonathan, followed by Darlene Fierro.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan Svetko. I am a business owner here in the city of Montebello. With me here tonight, I've had the opportunity to bring my business partner, Jason, my husband, Michael, and his mother, my mother-in-law, Rosemary. I come here before you to showcase who are the faces behind our business. We are very much a small cannabis business here. Family-owned, family-run. A year ago, I came to this council on behalf of the Cannabinoid Business Association here within Montebello, sharing with you the struggles we were starting to have, struggles that have only grown even bigger since. Since the time that we came here last time, we have had the largest distributor in the state fail. We've had the largest cannabis retailer in the state fail. That retailer was valued at $1.3 billion. We have a lot of problems that are going on in the state, and while I don't pretend to think that we can fix them all here in Montebello, I'm coming to you again asking for mercy, asking for help, so that we can do the part that we can here in Montebello to keep our businesses going. I'm scared. I'm not the only one that's scared here. We have a number of our businesses here that have invested money to be here. They want to continue to be here, and we really want your support. We've had an opportunity to speak with staff, and I appreciate all the time that we've had to connect with you on that. There are still some things that are outstanding that don't make sense to us. There are data points that don't make sense to us. We have within our own committee here, or within our own group here, we have polled each other. We have found that the majority of the businesses here in the city are behind on their payments to the city, which is something that seems to be a little bit different than what we've heard from the city staff itself. What we're asking for is a conversation. We've come here a year ago. We've had individual conversations with some of you on here, more so with some of the staff here. It was brought up at one point that we would have an open conversation here at the city meetings as well. We're open to that. But we just really need your help. And in this silence, we don't want to fail. Most recently, like I've said, we've had several companies in the state fail, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's many more that have failed as well. And we've even had an action here when one was shut down here recently within the city as well. Please help us. I end with this. I will share with you, if it can be accepted to file here, the original request that we gave you last year, but also a more recent report that came from the CDTFA, in which the state's tax agency has now said that over $732 million in taxes have gone unpaid to the state from cannabis operators, of which 72% of that are businesses that have failed, meaning they will never even collect those numbers, those taxes. What we're asking for is to not become that statistic. We do not want to go away. We want to be here for many years to come. We want to be a part of this community. We want to be able to benefit this community and to grow with you, but we won't have that chance if we won't be here. I'm asking you again, please help us. We're open to it. We will reach out to you. We'll reach out to staff. I just ask for your help on all of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. If we can please have our next speaker.
Next speaker is Darlene Fierro.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Darlene Fierro, and I'm a school board member at Montebello Christian School, and also a business owner at Rejuvenating Skincare Medical Aesthetics here in Montebello. And my business is sponsoring an event Thursday, May 16th at 6 p.m. at the school located at 136 South 7th Street. And the purpose of this event is to help raise funds to develop a scholarship program to assist students advance in their educational efforts. I'm here to personally invite you to be my guest for this event, and I hope you spread the word to your friends and encourage them to support this great cause. I'm going to leave these invitations if that's okay with the city clerk, and thank you for your time, and I hope to see you on the 16th of May.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fierro. Can we please have our next speaker?
Mayor, that does conclude all speaker cards.
Okay. Thank you to everyone who participated in our democratic process this evening. Moving forward, we do have our consent calendar. If our city attorney can please pull council for items of discussion, and I believe we are pulling item number 5 for presentation today as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Mayor, members of the council. At this time, it's the consent calendar, and any items that are listed on the consent calendar, which includes item number 4 through 15, with the exception of number 5, can be acted on a single motion. I will poll the council for their request to either pull any of these items. Oh, by the way, do we have any requests to speak on any of the consent agenda items?
We do not.
Thank you. Okay, I will start then with Mayor Pro Tem Melendez.
No items?
Thank you. Councilmember Jimenez? No items. Thank you. Councilmember Tamayo?
No further items.
Thank you. Councilmember Torres?
No additional items.
Thanks. Thank you. And Mayor Peralta?
No additional items.
So it'd be appropriate to entertain a motion to approve items 4 through 15 with the exception of number 5.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem Melendez. Can I get a second?
I second.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Tamayo. Mr. City Clerk, if we can please do a roll call.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem Melendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Jimenez.
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo.
Aye.
Councilmember Torres.
Aye.
Mayor Peralta.
And I vote aye. Thank you very much. So for item number 5, Approve letter of engagement to master retainer agreement number 3999 with Mark Thomas and Company for survey of the fence on Bluff Road between Washington Boulevard and Mines Avenue and Washington Boulevard Railroad right-of-way. I believe we do have a presentation today by our Public Works Director, Cesar Roldan. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present this item. So this item is our Rio Hondo Coastal Spreading Grounds Fence Replacement Project. In June of 2020, Senator Bob Archuleta secured project funding in the amount of $935,000 to build a fence, basically replacing what separates the Rio Hondo with the city's right-of-way. In November of 2021, the City Council adopted Resolution 2189, accepting the grant, in which we were going to be replacing 8,500 feet of fence along Bluff Road between Mines Avenue and Sycamore Street. Existing fencing in the property of the LA County Flood Control District and is maintained by LA County Department of Public Works. On February 7th of 2022, the State Department of Parks and Recreation executed the contract, which provided us with the appropriate funding. The contract performance period was basically between July 1st of 2021 through June 30th of 2024. So part of the concerns that we had was that we were going to start the work and certain things came up. So internal coordination took place on installing the wrought iron fence. Staff commenced site investigation and found that there was several street segments that were actually privately owned. And this is basically the distance between the easterly part of the right-of-way there along Bluff Road. So in winter of 2022, staff requested an extension from the State Department of Parks and Recreation. In April of 2023, the State Department of Parks and Recreation executes an amendment, thereby extending the contract till 2028. And obviously today we're here in front of City Council requesting an approval to survey 4,500 feet of right-of-way. And that 4,500 feet is basically the city wanting to know where our boundary exists and where some of the private property actually exists relative to the county flood control district's right-of-way. So a little bit about the parameters of the grant. The State Department of Parks and Rec oversees the grant. This is a reimbursable grant, meaning that the city has not received the funding up front, $935,000. Basically, as the city starts to do work and perform work and eligible work, we send off invoices to the state for reimbursement. And obviously, as of today, we have not received one penny for the grant. So right here, we could see a section of Bluff Road, which it is part of the roadway, and parcel 6348-013-001, which is approximately a little bit more than 10,000 square feet. That is privately owned. There's a section there highlighted in yellow, 901 and 902, that actually belongs to the city. So the city actually owns a section of the parcel that makes up Bluff Road. And this is an aerial view of the area, Bluff Road, basically south of Mines. And then there's another section south of Beach, which is parcel 6348-014-001, 2 and 3 that are privately owned, which again make up a little bit more than half the roadway along Bluff Road. And then the city also owns parcels 901 and 902 on Bluff Road itself. And then here's a segment of Bluff Road, just south of Beach Street. And you can see that to the east is the flood control district right away. So what are our next steps? So we're requesting here the opportunity to survey the right-of-way so that we know exactly where our property lies. And this is going to take approximately 10 weeks to complete. If approved tonight, this is going to take us until August of 2024. Step 2 is to request authorization to negotiate in good faith with the parcel owners, the private property owners. This will probably take between August 2024 and April of 2025. Step 3 is to obtain LA County Flood Control and LA County Department of Public Works permits to do the work on the right-of-way. And this is between April of 2025 through September of 2025. Step 4 is to request authorization from the City Council to solicit bids to install and construct the wrought iron fence. And this is taking us between October 2025 through December of 2025. Step 5 is the actual fence construction itself. That's going to take place between January of 26 and August of 26. And then, the last resort is coming back to City Council to declare the project substantially completed. And this is sometime between September of 2026 and December of 2026. And of course, these dates are all contingent upon us ensuring that we can get to the several steps, permitting that might take some time too from LA County Public Works and so forth. And that concludes my presentation for today. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer all the questions that you may have on this project.
Okay, thank you so much, Director Roldan. I'll go ahead and go by today's order. Mayor Pro Tem Melendez, do you have any questions?
I have some comments and some questions. First of all, thank you for the presentation, for putting this on the item. I know there's many residents that had questions about this, whether we had the money, where the money was, and as it was stated here, we haven't received the money. It's a reimbursable grant. My question, and it kind of seems like this might be where the challenge arises, is step 2, right? Request authorization to negotiate in good faith with the parcel owners. So are they how much property are they losing, or would they be losing some property with the fence? And also, it kind of seems like everybody would have to be in agreement, right, for this to move forward, or I don't know if this raises some potential litigation, or we can even be discussed here, right? But what are some of the alternatives if there's one property owner that just does not want to cooperate, or they just don't want this? Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So that's a good question. In essence, the establishing where the exact right-of-way is of the utmost importance, especially when we're dealing with private property. So for example, if I place my fence on your private side, there's basically litigation, civil litigation that would ask us to relocate the fence, correct? That's why we're going through this process right now. With regards to any sort of future litigation, I think that's a question for both the city manager and the city attorney's office. I say in good faith, a lot of the private property is actually on the road itself. So if you kind of picture Bluff Road, say 50% of it might be owned privately. So in reality, that would be like me, owning half of a driveway approach that really is used for highway purposes. And so that's, it's probably stems over 100 years of when this was a large ranch over 100 years ago, and it got subdivided, and then it came down and it started to subdivide it more and more and more. Some of that proper dedication just wasn't done correctly via parcel maps and tract maps and so forth, or grant deeds. And so there was remnant pieces of parcels that still remain privately owned.
And Mayor Pro Tem, if I may add, so the interesting part about this road or it's not a usable space for them per se. It's actually part of our road. So for example, for this entirety, we've actually been maintaining it, whether it was paving, potholes, anything to that effect, right? So I would frame it as not, the property in question is not like their backyard per se, right? So now the challenging part for us is the great news is we got this funding. The tough part is we're not legally able to put in the fence because we're not able to establish this ownership, right? When we're talking about litigations, really our goal is not to enter into litigation. Once we do the survey, our goal would be to approach the property owners and negotiate in good faith, and hopefully we can reach an agreement that meets both their needs and the needs of the city, so we're able to build this fence.
Okay, does that conclude your questions? Okay, thank you so much. Councilmember Jimenez?
I had a similar question, and well, a lot of the residents have asked for several months now where the money has gone. I want to make sure that people understand that, again, this is a reimbursable grant and that no one took the money, right? Because that's, before you got here, Caesar, that's what people were accusing us of, putting the money somewhere. But now with this, I know that while everyone in the South Side really wants this, that is a concern that and I'm sure we're going to face. I'm going to say we're going to face pushback. Thank you for the presentation, and it is actually nice to finally see that this is what we're trying to figure out a way to move this along. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Tamayo?
Yes, my question is, let's see, so we have 935,000 for 8,500 feet of fence, right? So that money would be spent on the fence.
Correct. So yes, the idea was that we were going to be installing a wrought iron fence.
Okay, so do we know that is enough money, or we don't know at this point to build the 8,500 square?
That's an excellent question. I think one of the hardest parts about public works over the last 4 to 5 years, because of COVID, there has been an extreme rise that's been exponential in the cost of material. I was explaining to the city manager today that at some point in time, you would buy something for $13 and now it's $80. So that's happened to the cost of this, not material, but the hourly wage of somebody that's going to install, for example, wrought iron, somebody that's a skilled labor. And so I would like to think that it's enough money, but I honestly don't think so. But again, I come from a background and I try to do as much as possible to save the city money. I'm not here to exploit the honest residents of the city. So in good faith, we're gonna, try to find ways to kind of build it within reason. Because I know Michael's looking at me right now with the evil eye. So I do my best to try to build it, but 4 years ago, this might have been okay, but now if you're taking us to 2028, reality, this is an 8-year project. So I guess fingers crossed.
Thank you, understood. And then my next just point is, so this is a request to do the survey, which the cost is going to be $169,000. So that is not coming from the grant money of the 935, correct?
So we had placed in here that we were going to use gas tax money, which is an eligible expense. However, in light of what I just said, if I take 169 from the 935, then that's just giving me less money potentially to build the wrought iron fence. And then in 2026, I'm asking you for more money at some point in time. And then also, if there's other funds for design or anything like that, then I just want to make sure that we have ample money. Of course, we would use the whole entire amount for the beautification of that area. But for right now, we have allocated gas tax funds for that purpose.
Okay. Thank you. That answers my questions.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Tamayo. Councilmember Torres?
Thank you, Mayor. I think one of the basic questions as we're seeing the complexities with this project is that comes to mind is who owns the current fence and why this is coming down to an issue of like who owns which parcels as opposed to just kind of taking out what's there and then replacing it with something that's new.
Another excellent question. I asked myself that same question. Not to throw shade at past individuals that worked here, but at some point in time, in good faith, they came in there with the same idea, right? It seems honest enough. And then, residents, parcel owners of said parcels we just talked about would come out and said, hey, what are you doing on my private property, right? You have no right to be there. So, they pretty much stopped this project. And so, obviously, if we just take the stance, okay, we're just going to replace it in areas where there is no private property issues, but then you have this gap, and then some of the other residents would be looking at a dilapidated fence and just want to be happy. So I like to do things the right way. And as much as this might hurt us, I think this is in our best interest anyways to know where's our right-of-way lie. Under normal circumstances, I'm not worried that Beverly or any other street is owned by somebody else. In this case, it's a hodgepodge of things. And just for the sake of engineering and surveying, I think it's in our best interest. I know it's a lot of money, but we'll be better for it. And everything will be recordable, and it'll just be more significant down the road if we just do it this way.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Director. And yeah, even though it's a considerable expense, I think as far as public projects go, it's pretty reasonable considering how long of a life this fence should have. I mean, if not, decades, probably 100 years that this is going to be able to kind of withstand weather with, proper care and maintenance and everything. And then also just considering that in terms of the price, I think we're also going to be looking at a land acquisition cost down the road. So we have the cost to construct the fence, we have the cost for the assessment, and then I think as far as I saw on the staff report, it doesn't include the possible land acquisition costs as well. So hopefully the property owners are understanding and find value in what the city is putting in and appreciates the kind of investment that the state of California is putting in South Montebello. But Madam Mayor, that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Torres. And just echoing a very similar sentiments, this is a project that I know a lot of our residents have asked a lot of questions, have really tried to understand what the holdup was. And so I do just want to recognize our Director of Public Works, Mr. Roldan, as well as our City Manager for taking priority in bringing clarity and transparency to the status of this project and really informing council as well as our residents what the next steps look like as far as accomplishing this project for our residents in that area who unfortunately, have suffered issues of trash as well as transients and these dilapidated fences that are really affecting the neighborhood of that area. And so overall, thank you very much for today's presentation and clarity. If I can please call for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem. Can I please get a second? I'll second. Second by Councilmember Jimenez. If I can please have a roll call, Mr. City Clerk.
Mayor Pro Tem Melendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Jimenez.
Aye.
Councilmember Tamayo.
Aye.
Councilmember Torres.
Aye.
Mayor Peralta.
And I vote aye. That takes us to our AB 1234 travel reports. Going to go ahead and just look across the dais here if anyone has any travel reports to. Yes, okay. Councilmember Torres.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Last week, I attended the League of California Cities. As usual, it was great programming, a great time with colleagues just connecting, catching up, finding out what's going on in the region and across the state and the ways that Montebello could benefit. I'm proud to report that one of the actions that Council put forward last year seems to put us on the leading edge of AI technology in government by looking at policies and looking at ways to adopt it and implement it in our city systems. It seems that we are, along with the likes of Boston and San Francisco, and that there are from all appearances, very few cities that are taking that step. So the ways that AI can possibly augment the way that we communicate and serve our constituents, I think is really fantastic. Beyond that, just great general informational presentations and good experience. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilmember Torres. And then moving forward with council agency orals. Today, I'll be speaking on two items. My first one is inviting our community to an event that I have partnered with the Montebello Mom Walk Collective to host a Mother's Day brunch and mariachi serenata on May 11th, starting at 11 a.m. This is open to our community. You can RSVP at scarlettmtb.com/mom. I'm extremely excited to be hosting this event. I hosted a similar one about 2 years ago. We will be having a youth mariachi group from the city of Montebello providing us live entertainment. I do also just want to thank LA Word Church here in the city of Montebello. We had Pastor Sebastian Petz as well as Administrator Yancy Perez, who are also partnering with us and just graciously provided us this space to celebrate the moms of our community. In regards to just some comments that were made earlier, it's very unfortunate that efforts to celebrate our community are often demonized and misinformation is being spread. At the end of the day, our work as council here is to create partnerships, to work with our community, to really host events that celebrate every aspect of Montebello. I think that's what makes us great. And so I am inviting all our moms all across Montebello, every district, to please join us for this event in celebrating the labor of love that they not only give to their children, but also to our community. And so moving forward with my next item, it is code for requesting council consensus, although I believe there is something in the works currently, but for discussion, would like to have an official tree species list, which designates specific native trees that may be planted within the city of Montebello. As we all know, we have trees within our city that are causing issues, lifting our sidewalks, causing pedestrians to fall, and also trees that are not native. And so moving forward in really trying to greenize our community and create more urban infrastructure, I think it's important that we have a designated list of tree species that the city can use, as well as future developments can use for reference. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. City Manager, but no consensus would be needed if currently tree people, is that the scope of work in our partnership and current grant application?
Yeah, one of the items that council previously approved was the grant application for an urban forestry grant. And one of the components for the urban forestry grant is actually to develop this list exactly that you're naming. So it's something that will work collaboratively with tree people. It'll be part of our normal process. It'll be codified within our city. It's something that will be coming back to city council in its entirety. So I say you don't need to take action on this because this is already built in as part of that grant. Now, keeping our fingers crossed that we actually do get that grant.
Okay, definitely keeping our fingers crossed for that, and happy to bring it back if needed. So with that, prior to concluding today's council meeting, I would like to just recognize that today is Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day. As we do come to a close tonight, let us just take a moment to honor and commemorate the memory of the victims of the Armenian Genocide. If I could please have a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone, for participating in our council meeting. We are, or actually, can I please get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. We are adjourned. Wishing everyone a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much.